In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Praise to Allah. Prayers and peace be upon the Messenger of God Muhammad and upon his family and upon his companions. Today we will speak about the linguistic aspect, what we called the rhetorical terms. What is epanalepsis, this strange word? Epanalepsis. I will give you an example in a sentence of Kennedy, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, who said one day, mankind must put an end to war, or war will put an end to mankind. This is then a rhetorical term. It is when we repeat words at the beginning and at the end of a sentence. I will give you another epanalepsis sentence. In a minute, there is time for decisions and revisions, which a minute can reverse, said T.S. Eliot. Then, epanalepsis, it is the linguistic rhetorical term repeating a word, a phrase at regular intervals, a refrain. It may refer to repetition at the end of a sentence with which it began. The Quran is full plenty of example of epanalepsis, repeating a similar grouping of words. Let's illustrate this language rhetorical from the parallelism between the first chapter, the opening, Al-Fatiha, and the last chapter, An-Nas, mankind. The second chapter, heifer, not cow. The heifer, it is the cow who has not born a calf, Then it is more precise to say heifer than cow globally in this chapter. And comparing then the heifer chapter, the second one, Al-Baqarah, with the before last, Al-Falaq, the day-breaking day, the daybreak. And the third one, Al-Imran, which we are concerning with, about the Tawheed, the oneness God concept, who deserves to be worshipped, the only, the unique, the one God who deserved, the only who deserved, who has created us. With the penultimate chapter, Al-Ikhlas, the pure monotheism, the purity in worshipness. Let's start with Al-Fatiha. The first one, God, Allah, used the word of divinity, deity and kingship. What is divinity? Al-Uluhiyya in Arabic, Al-Ilah, Allah. The deity, Al-Rabb, the creator. And kingship, it is Al-Malik, the possessor, who to all belongs to him. Allah, the Almighty has used it in the first and the last. Let's read immediately and comparing the sentences of the. This is what I called epanalepsis. The epanalepsis, rhetorical language beauty. The Fatiha, the opening, Allah said, قُلْ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. All praise and thanks are Allah, the Lord. Allah, the Lord of Al-Alamin. Thanks then to Allah, the divinity here. Rabb al-Alamin, the Lord of the Lord. It is the deity, you know. Maliki Yawm Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, most merciful, most gracious, the most merciful. Maliki Yawm Ad-Din, the only owner, the kingship notion. We will find in the last chapter the same concept of divinity, deity, and kingship. قل أعوذ برب الناس. Say I seek refuge with Allah, the Lord of mankind. Then Rabb, the deity. Malik al-Nas, the king of mankind, the kingship. Ilah al-Nas, the Ilah, the God, the divinity of mankind. You see? Rabb, Ilah, Malik. You will find the same words at the beginning and the end of the Quran, at the first chapter, the last chapter. It is what we call Epanalepsis. Epanalepsis. Let's continue with the second chapter, comparing with the before last one. The second is the Heifer. What's the main subject in the Heifer chapter, Al-Baqarah? It is about how to protect ourselves against magics, touch ices, and envies of coming from others. We will find it in the Daybreak chapter, the before last. Allah said, I will just read what we're speaking about, not all the chapter. And from the evil of those who practice witchcraft when they blow in the knots. وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدٍ. And from the evil of the envier that when he envies. You know? It is the before last, it is the main topic, the main we use. It is famous in the Quran that when we have a problem with evils and envies, we read Al-Baqarah, the Heifer chapter. Then I will conclude with the penultimate. It is Surat Al-Ikhlas, the pure monotheism, which is in parallelism with the third chapter, Al-Imran. Allah starts with all the chapter with the idea of remain steadfastness on the Tawheed, on the oneness concept of God, Tawheed, La ilaha illallah. And starts also all the chapter with Alif Lam Mim, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum, the ever living, the one who sustains and protects all that exists. And Al-Ikhlas, the purity, starts with, say, O Muhammad, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Allah, He is Allah, the one. Allahu Samad, Allah the self-sufficient master, whom all creatures need. He neither eats nor drinks. لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ. He begots not, nor was he begotten. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. And there is none co-equal or comparable to him. You know what we have spoken about chapter Al-Imran? The main central question. It is Jesus. He's the slave of Allah, not son of God, not a divinity, of course. Here, Allah, in similarity with the third chapter, we find he begets not, and nor was he begotten. This is an Epanalepsis, you know, and it is the seven main chapters in the Quran, the first chapters. You can compare them with the last chapters also. But today I have chosen Al-Imran with the penultimate chapter to stress on it. Then it was my brief and quick introduction to this rhetorical aspect in the language used by the Quran, the truth, the word of Allah, Allah's word. Then I ask, may Allah help us to concentrate on the Tawheed. The best way, what we need, it is the best way to have it is to hold on it and to practice it, discovering and knowing it better, and finding works and acts helping to reach it with Allah help. And see you next time. And thank you very, very much.